my friends, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s and I am working to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And welcome. Today we are going to be going on a financial health journey. Today I am going to be setting up my 2024 budget, and I am going to be doing that by setting up the budget by Paycheck budget by the Budget Mom. I use the printed budget. So I have a PDF version of her planner and I print it out, and I will be using what you see in front of me to set this up. I use the FriXion pens. I have just a black ballpoint pen, and then I have the colored ones, and I use these because they are erasable. All of the things that you see here I have Amazon affiliate links for, and I will put these all in the description box below. The only thing that I don't have an affiliate link for is the actual planner, but I will link the Budget Mom's website below so you can get this planner, both the PDF version and the actual physical planner. I did order a physical planner this year, and I did a walkthrough, a flip through of that if you're interested, but I decided ultimately for me, I prefer to continue to use the printed version because I am not a cash budgeter, I am a digital budgeter, so there were just so many pages that I didn't use. The PDF version was better for me. So I actually gifted that as a Christmas gift to a friend of mine. So I don't have it with me anymore, so I can't compare it. But if you're interested in seeing that, I will link the video where I did the walkthrough below in the description box as well. So I do use both the colorful pens and then just the black pen. And then I also use the highlighters. These are the FriXion brand highlighters. Somehow I got the Asian version. I don't know if that looks Korean to me. No, maybe it's not. I don't know what language that is, but it might be Korean. It's definitely not English, but it's FriXion. It's Pilot. I like pastel colors, so I ordered the pastel, and then I ordered the bright ones. But I have these. I will link them all below. So that is what I will use for setting it up. I'm just going to get this out of the way. I wanted to get it all. I have a Happy Planner set of rings. Last year I had pastel rings, just pastel. This purple is my favorite color, in case you couldn't tell. But I wanted to get a little bit bigger rings because I noticed as I'm getting toward the end of the year, these smaller discs were not big enough. So that last year, this 2023 was the first year I did this. Previously I had a printed version, like her version that the one that she creates, but I wanted to do buy a bigger ring. So that's the rings. Those are the rings. This is the Happy Planner where you can print it to fit on the discs. You don't have to use the discs. You can just use a regular binder if you want to. Print it out and put it into a 3-ring binder if you wanted to do it that way. These are the beginning pages and then the first month. So the beginning and the first month, we will go through that as we do it. This is the paper that I use. It is a heavier weight paper. It's a 32 weight. I bought this last year. I printed all of last year, and I printed, this year, and then I keep randomly accidentally printing things out on this because it's what's in my printer. So every time I print something, I print it on this. And I still have plenty of paper left because a ream of paper is 500 pages. So this is going to last me for a couple of years, I think. So I still have plenty of this left. It's a 32-pound weight paper. So it's just a thicker, the highlighter doesn't go through it, and it's a nicer feel, and it makes it easier to work with when you're working on the paper. And then on Amazon, sorry, I'm just getting that out of my way, I ordered from Better Note, which I've never heard of, but I was just looking for something that would work with my binder because I didn't like the only Happy Note that I could find that didn't have all the insides. So last year my friend gifted me for my birthday the Happy Planner hole punch, the rings, the PDF version of the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck book, and then the Happy Planner book and I ended up just giving away the insides of the book because I didn't need them. I just was going to print the budget by paycheck book and put that inside. So instead of buying a whole happy planner and paying for that, I was looking for something that wasn't going to be so wasteful, and I found this on Amazon, and again I will link this below so you can find it. She has a couple of different designs, and these are well, you can't change it, but she had a couple of different designs, and it did come with rings, but these are itty bitty, even smaller than the ones I had. So this would work if you were doing only 1 month at a time, or if you weren't, you know, if you only get paid once a month maybe instead of doing a full budget, but like a full month. But for me, these are way too small. So I'm gonna keep this. Maybe I can use these for something else, but for my budget, these would not work. So let's go ahead and get started. I can't describe to you what this feels like. I have no idea how to describe it, but it is plasticky, but not plastic. I definitely feel like this could be wiped off very easily. And it did come pre-punched. So if you don't have a hole punch, like a happy planner hole punch, a disc binder, a ring, disc, whatever these are. If you don't have this hole punch, you could, and you have pre-punched pages, you could still use this because it did come pre-punched. So let's go ahead and get started on getting this set up. I'm going to go ahead and open my rings. I haven't opened that. I did open, sorry that was loud. I did open this because that took me a little while to get open, so I didn't want y'all to have to watch me. Ooh, I made a mess. All right, that's open. And we'll start punching. So in this video, I'm just gonna go through the first setup, just the pages I'm going to use. It took me a little while to figure out what pages to use, and I did already write them out, so we're just gonna go through them. And then I'm gonna do another video that I'll post in a couple of days where I set up my January budget, so we'll go through that together as well. So let me introduce myself to those of you who are new. Again, my name is Becky. I am now 43 and a half years old. When I turned 40, y'all, I realized that my life was a mess. I did not have anything together. I had a significant amount of debt. I was very overweight, and don't get me wrong, I still am overweight, but my mental health was a mess. I just was like, I am not in a very good place anywhere in my life, and I need to start getting my life in order. And in your 40s is when people go through midlife crisis. And so I decided I was going to have a good midlife crisis, and I was going to start trying to get everything together and start trying to get everything in order. And my friend Randy had used a phrase that I really liked and I adopted as kind of like my life motto. And he had said he was some about getting poop in a group. And that's just a PC way of, you know what he's saying. You know what it means. Anyway, I adopted it. I made it my motto. And so I decided to start budgeting. And I heard my friends talking about budgeting, and one of my friends, Kay, was talking about joining a budgeting group. And another friend asked her what they were using to budget, and I thought he asked if she was using YNAB, like wine, and then app, like application. And I went home and I Googled YNAB for budgeting. And of course it came up with YNAB, YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. And I downloaded the trial. And y'all, I have never looked back. This app has changed my life and I love it. So the way I do my budgeting is let me figure out colors. Red, orange, that's a pink. Is that pink? Yellow, blue, green. We're doing this. Indigo violet. That's how we're calling this. I don't have another blue. Okay. I don't know how this is a rainbow, but okay. Anyway, sorry. So, I also decided to start working. I did that all, got it all in order, and then broke it. I also decided to start working on my my weight, and I did that backwards after all that, and my mental health. So I have also a playlist of weight loss videos where I do my weigh-in Wednesdays and mental health videos. I'm going to tell you my mental health videos. There are not very many of them because they are hard to watch, and they are hard to record, sorry. And the weigh-ins, I am making slow but steady progress. So it's not fast, but I'm getting there. I did just very recently hit a 50 pound mile marker. So we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. But now I'm 43 and my finances are getting in order. I am learning how to do this, and I feel like we're making some progress in life. And I decided, once I started to figure out what I was doing and I was watching YouTube videos, I was like, I couldn't find any other people like me, single, no children, not super low income, but not super high income, and, you know, with debt, but not, I didn't have a mortgage. And I wanted to put that out there with my income, and put that out there for y'all to see how I do it, because I couldn't find another channel that was just like mine. And so I decided to try to share it. And that's my backstory. I'm going to stop talking so I can remember how rainbows work, and then I will come back to y'all in a second. Red, orange, yellow, Rory G. Green. Y'all, everybody else, do y'all have to say Rory G. Biv in your head when you do rainbows, or is that just a me thing? Blue. Is that a me thing? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. This is like my favorite color. I love purple. I like a lilac-y purple. I don't know. Okay, so for 2024, I am, if you are not new, welcome back, y'all. Thank you so much for sticking with me. 2023 was kind of a roller coaster year. I feel like we made a lot of progress in some areas and not a lot of progress in other areas. I am going to be doing a recap video here I'm going to be making it in the next couple of days. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be coming out because I've got quite a few videos I need to post. These rings are so big. Oh my goodness, maybe I should start with smaller rings and then transition to bigger rings as we go. I'm not a ring expert. So I'm trying to figure out, I know there were some areas where I definitely need to focus, and one of those areas is paying off my debt consolidation loan. I have a debt consolidation loan that I took out at the very beginning. It was like my second or third video that I ever posted, is where I decided to do a debt consolidation loan. And I do not regret that at all. I think that is one of the best decisions that I have ever made. And I fully intended to pay that off very, very quickly by paying $500 a month. But life happened, and so of course that did not happen. Okay, y'all, I have a budget for 2024. Yeah, look at that. Oh, man, those rings are huge. Okay, look at that. So pretty. Life happened, and I did not get that paid off immediately like I wanted to. So now here we are, almost 2 years later, and I still have that debt. And so this year, I will have that paid off, Lord willing, by the end of this year. And the minimum that I have to pay that off is $300 a month. So I am making that my minimum monthly payment, $300. And you will see that as we get into my monthly budget, which is not this video, but come back for my January setup and you will see that that is my minimum monthly payment. So now I have this set up. I'm going to zoom in and we'll go through the setup. So here is this cover, which I love. And then the way she has the first page, it just says this workbook belongs to, and then I have my name, which is Becky, and then the Good Midlife Crisis That is the channel name, obviously, because you clicked on this video, so you found me. And then my email, just because I don't intend to take this book with me anywhere. And if you have the physical book, I mean, you know how thick that book is. That's a pretty solid book. Like, here. Ugh. I have the one from a couple of years ago. This is a pretty solid book. I don't know who's carrying this around with them and forgetting it places, that you're going to need somebody to bring it back to you. But, you know, in case you do, there's a place to put your contact information. Okay, so the first page that I printed out is my financial goals. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Oh, the lighting is so weird because it's a weird time of day. It's like it's 5 o'clock, so the sun is setting. So I want to get my emergency fund to at least $2,000 by December. That should be a very doable goal because I'm starting with about $1,300. So I only have to put about $52 a month away in order to hit that goal, which I have decided to not do my 52-week savings challenge. So this will be very easy for me to do. The hard part is going to be not taking money out of it, but I haven't touched my 52-week savings challenge, which is where that $1,300 is coming from that I'm starting off with. So I should be able to do this. Obviously, barring any emergencies coming up, I should be able to have at least $2,000 in this emergency fund by December. Ultimately, I want to have, and I didn't write this down, I should. Ultimately, I want to have about $4,500 in my emergency fund because that will fund a full month of my expenses. I looked in YNAB. And if you're not familiar with YNAB and you do digital budgeting, I invite you to check out my YNAB playlists. I do my YNAB budget with me every Friday, and I have a full playlist of those videos. You should check those out. I will link that playlist as well. I checked out how much it takes me to fund every single one of my goals in YNAB in a full month, and that is for my sinking funds and for my giving and for my everything is a little bit less than $4,500. So ultimately, a month's worth of expenses of emergency fund would be $4,500. $2,000 would more than cover me for my actual expenses. $4,500 would be like everything for like fun money as well. So that would be good. And then I want to start saving toward a down payment for my own house. I do rent a room from a friend of mine. So within 5 years, I'd like to have at least $25,000 saved. Once I've paid off this debt consolidation, that should not be too hard to do. And then I don't know long-term, I don't really have any long-term goals. $25,000 is a good starter. I know I will need more than that ultimately. But those are just the only goals I have right now. My memberships, so I wrote them out. I have two settings. These are I watched Jennifer Bleacher set up hers, and when I set this page up previously, I always just did my everything, and she only did her annual memberships on here, but I feel like this is like everything that you don't want to forget about. So I put everything on here, my monthly memberships and then my annual memberships. I put them all on here. So these are my monthly bills. And this Optima Mobile, this is my mom's phone bill. So I do pay some bills for my mom. This Progressive is my mom's car insurance. This Optima Mobile is my mom's phone bill. And then I also pay my mom's propane bill. That's not like a recurring thing. That's just an as she needs it thing. So it's a sinking fund that I have set up, but it's not a bill that I know when it's going to hit. So that's not on here. But this Optima Mobile should go away because I'm going to plan to get rid of that. It'll probably be in the beginning of January when I change this. So I don't know what it will be actually in 2024, but for right now, this is what it is. On the 27th, I pay my mom's phone bill, and it is $61.07. But that will be changing in 2024. So these are my actual bills that I pay every month, and then these are my once a year bills. I have not ever done a sinking fund for my annual fee for this credit card, and I've never done a sinking fund for my annual fee for my gym. My gym has a monthly membership, and then once a year they have a $42.22 fee that they charge every member. I don't know why they do that, but they always do. And I've never done a sinking fund for those two things, but I decided to start. This is due in January, this Mission Lane credit card, that's due in January, so I'm going to go ahead and just fund it in January. I'm just realizing I think I forgot to put that in my January budget. I'm just going to have to cash flow it. I'll figure it out. But I'm just going to fund it this year and then start a sinking fund so that I'll have it in January of 2025 ready to go. So these are my memberships and subscriptions. That is what this is. And I just realized you can't see the bottom of that. So there you go for that one. Okay, I do not use a lot of her pages, and that is why I don't use the printed, like the one that you can buy. My yearly savings goals and events, these are the 8 savings goals, like my sinking funds, my main sinking funds. My YNAB renewal, again, that is the digital app that I use to digitally cash stuff. That is about $108 with taxes. It's $10.56 that I set aside every month, and that is due in May. I know that a lot of you do, because if you want to try it out and you use my referral link, you get 34 days for free to try it out, where you don't even put in your credit card information. And then if you like it and you sign up, you get an additional 30 days for free. And so you get 64 days for free, and they give me 30 days for free. A lot of you have done that, and that gets me 30 days for free. So I'm not actually exactly sure. I think it may not be due until June now, because it keeps getting pushed back. And thank you so much for that. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Like that, even if I get nothing from YouTube, like no payments, the free YNAB pays for everything. It makes it so worth it. Just to get free YNAB, because YNAB is life-changing for me. But I think this may not be due until June, but I'll just say it's due in May, because that's when it was due when I set this up. And so I set $10.56 aside every month for my YNAB renewal. And when it's due, I'll have the money set aside. Again, my Planet Fitness annual fee is $42.22, so I'm going to start setting aside $5.28, so I have that ready in August. Once August hits, it will be less, because then I will have 12 months before it will be due again, but I'll figure that math out when August hits. So right now, I actually only have 8 months to set this money up. PowerSuite 365 is the software that I use for video editing. And if you watch my YNAB videos, you will know that I am just about done with them because of their screen sharing. I really like the software, actually, for editing. I really do. And if it weren't for their screen sharing not allowing me to see what I'm recording, what the webcam is recording, but it makes every Friday morning, it just makes Friday morning so frustrating for me, because that's when I do my YNAB. And then plus every time they update it, it knocks out my webcam, and I can't use my microphone anymore. Like, you can't hear me when I talk, and I have to fix that. I don't know what's going on. So it may not be this editing software when I renew in October, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, this is what this software costs, which is another reason it's so frustrating, because the software I had previously did everything I wanted it to do and costs a lot less than this. So I don't know if I'm going to go with this one. But anyway, it's $9.59 every month that I need to set aside, and that is due in October. I have 2 memberships that are due in October. I have Find Me Gluten Free, which is an app that I use because I have celiac, and it helps me when I'm out and about to find restaurants that are safely gluten-free, other people who also have either celiac or just are dietarily trying to avoid gluten. They have reviewed and given their opinions on what was safe and what was not safe, and why they felt that way on restaurants. And so I find that very helpful when I am looking for a new place to eat, either because I'm in a new area or if I'm just trying to find something new. That's $22 annually. It's like less than $2 a month, so that's definitely worth it for me. And then my Costco membership is $5 a month, so that's only $6.84 a month for those 2 renewals, that's $82 total for the year, and that's also due in October. And then my car registration and inspection is $100 for the year, also due in October. That's $8.34 a month to set aside. Holiday giving. Y'all, this is not an accurate goal. I need more than this, but I can't make it work in my budget. So I'm going to have to use savings challenges or pull money from other places. In YNAB, you call that whamming, whack-a-mole, to make this work. That's what I've been doing this month. Pulling it from other places, being willing to, I don't want to say rob Peter to pay Paul, but give up something to give to somebody else, because giving is my love language, and holiday giving makes me so happy. I love buying things for people. It just is my joy. And so $1,000, I have quite a few people that I like to buy things for, and then my really close friends, I really like to go all out and buy them things that I know are gonna just make them super happy. And so $1,000, I would really like to have more in here. Hopefully, ultimately, I can put more in here, but $1,000 is my minimum goal, and that's $85 a month, and I need that by December of 2024. Again, my emergency fund, I would like to have that up to $2,000, which would be $52 a month, because I'm starting with $1,378 on January 1st. And I need that I want that by the end of December. And then my Mission Lane annual fee, $59, that's just under $5 a month, and I need that by January of 2025. Those are my savings, my sinking fund savings goals. This is a new category, a new page that she put out for 2024. I don't have the 2024 digital page, but I was able to find this online. I guess she has it on her free resources page, which if you sign up for her, what is that thing called where they send out an email every Friday? Newsletter, thank you. Where you sign up for her newsletter, which I did a couple of years ago. So if you sign up for the newsletter, you have access to her free worksheets that she has on her website. So I was able to download this for free, and because I'm printing digitally, I can print whatever I want, and I just worked this into the book where I wanted it. And because I have access to an Adobe PDF manipulator that allows me to remove and move pages where I want them to be, I put this where I wanted it, and just fit it in here. And this is, if you've ever watched me close out a budget before, and I've tried to explain where I put my different categories. These are all of the different categories, all of the different envelopes, if you will, in my YNAB. So these are where I put my money every paycheck, every Friday, and these are the different categories when I close out my budget, how I say where I spent my money. So in my home category, my groceries, my gas, which is for my car, my pet expenses, my household, which is things like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, things like that. Things you buy at a grocery store that aren't groceries, that aren't food. Pet expenses would be the same thing, but things you buy at a grocery store that are for your pets, the dog food, the cat food, the toys, things like that. Insurance, that's my mom's car insurance and my car insurance, internet, my rent, my OneDrive, which is my Microsoft, it's for my 360. It also gets me extra storage on my OneDrive. My water, which is like my water bill, and then any bills that I pay, anything that's for the house that's a bill. Those are all in my home, anything related to my actual cost of living expenses. Giving would be anything that I categorize in my gifts and giving. If I take somebody out for dinner, if I buy them a birthday present, something like that. Tippy is my niece. Fortunately, I haven't really had to help her out, but when I first started this budget, it was almost a monthly thing. I did budget a specific amount of money every month that I would send to her. She hasn't needed it anymore. Recently, every once in a while, it'll be like $20 here or there, but she has really been doing much better. I do still have that budget that line in my category in my budget, so it's still under there. Ecclesial, this is my church donation. So this is also part of my giving category. Fun, What I consider fun would be anything in my dining out category, in my coffee category, in my fun money category, and then in my ecclesial category when I use that money for going out for a meal. So I have two in my ecclesial category. I budget a certain amount of money for my actual like money I pull out of the bank and put into the donation bag, and then a certain amount of money that I use to go out for a meal with my church family after church for a meal that's specifically for that meal. So the money that I use for the meal portion is fun money, and the money that I use for the church donation is the giving money. I hope that makes sense, but that's how I categorize it when I say how I spent it. Subscriptions, I really only have 2 subscriptions right now, which is my YouTube Premium and my Cinemark. Cinemark is the movie theater. I have it's a every other month ticket where I get 1 ticket to go see a movie, and then I get 20% off of my concessions, anything I buy at the concession stand, and then I don't pay any online fees. It's only like $6.50 a month, so I think that's a pretty good deal. Those are my only 2 subscriptions. Medical, this is for my health. Aflac is my supplemental health plan for my cancer policy. Planet Fitness is my gym membership, and then Waldo Contacts are where they ship me my daily contacts in the mail. Debt, right now I have a consolidation loan. Seth's car is a car that I took out a debt consolidation loan on. I'm sorry, I took out I financed a car when I was making really bad decisions before I started this debt journey. I financed a car when my niece was living with me. This all ties into my mental health and my debt journey because my sister passed away and my niece came to live with me. And as part of my mental health, my grieving, I was trying to fill the void, the hole with stuff, the hole of her loss. And I was trying to just throw stuff at my grief, at my niece's grief. And one of those things was a car. I couldn't afford it. She couldn't afford it. And when the money stopped coming in, when she turned 18, and she stopped receiving my sister's benefits, neither of us could afford this car. And fortunately, Seth, who is a member of my church, needed a car at that time, and he agreed to take over car payments. It also happened to be COVID time, and we couldn't get it refinanced in his name. I refinanced it in my name, which lowered the interest significantly. But it is still in my name. This is all above board. Everybody knows he drives his car. But it is in my name for the car and the insurance, and so he pays me every month for that. It will be paid off, Lord willing, at the end of this year, before the end of this year, actually. I think it's like October sometime. But he gives me money every month for that. But that is a debt payment. Mattress Firm is a mattress that I have. It's, I wrote Seth's car in here twice. Look at that. I'm trying to pay extra debt on here. This is why I use the FriXion erasable pens. Look at that. Do you see how nicely that erases? It's like it was never there. And the Mattress Firm is my mattress. Oh, and I'm going to put Best Buy in here because right now I have $400 on a Best Buy card, but that will be paid off very quickly. I did that for Christmas time. Okay, previously budgeted. I categorize that if I pull anything out of a sinking fund or anything out of my self-care or budgeting categories, because these are money that I put in every budgeting goes in once a month, self-care goes in every time I get a paycheck, but I let it build up and roll over. So sometimes when I pull money out of there, it's from last week or last month or 6 months ago, depending on how long it's been sitting in there. So I consider that previously budgeted. It's because it's not necessarily money that's from this paycheck or this week. And sinking funds have been in there for who knows how long. So that's money that's previously budgeted. Mom's bills. These are bills that I pay for my mom. It's my mom's insurance, my mom's phone, and my mom's utilities. I track this separately just so I can see for myself how much money I'm spending on that, just so I know. And then I also, at the end of the month, save. I just see how much I have saved or how much I have rolled over. So it's anything I put into a sinking fund, a savings challenge, or a savings category, and then it's the amount I roll over into the next month. And the only reason I would roll something into the next month is if I don't have a paycheck at the beginning of the next month. And that's actually happening right now to me because I am paid bi-weekly, but I budget weekly. So you'll see if you come back from my January budget setup, the very first week of January, I don't have a paycheck. I don't get a paycheck until my second week of January. So if I didn't roll money from December into January, I would have $0 to budget my first week of January. I have to roll money into January in order to budget. So I have to roll money over, even though that's not technically the way zero-based budgeting works. It's the only way I can make it work for me. And personal finance is personal. You have to find the way that works for you. That's the way it works for me. I am super excited though, because at the end of January, it's a 5-week month for me, and I actually end the week. I can zero out my January budget at the end of January, so I'm very excited for that one. Okay, this next section is the sinking fund visual tracker. We don't need to go over this because it's the same. We already went over my sinking funds, and so this is just where I'm gonna, I don't know, the last time I did this, I was really diligent about it at the beginning, and I just kind of trailed off, but it's where you color in as you save. So again, my October renewals, $6.48, so each of these boxes is going to be worth $6.48. It's a total of $82. So by the time I filled in all of these boxes, it will be $82. This is my Power Suite. It's worth $115 total. Each of these boxes is worth $9.59. By the time I filled in this whole thing for my Power Suite renewal, it'll be $115 saved. And then there's just one for all 8 of the sinking funds. That's what this page is. This page is my yearly balance. So I didn't fill in my debt, y'all. We'll come back to that. Here comes my puppy. So you're supposed to track here what your savings balance is at the beginning of the year, and then track it as you go. Your debt balance, your retirement balance, and that gives you your net worth. I'm not a big net worth tracker just because I don't really have much, and also I have like a car that's worth some money that I could like balance off of and I don't have there's not anything in here for investment and stuff, so I'm not really tracking all of that. I think I might just do the savings and the balance and the debt. I have a retirement, obviously. Well, not obviously. That's not obvious. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I do have a retirement plan. And my car does have a value that is fortunately worth more than I owe on it, but I'm just not tracking all of that right now. Maybe I should be, but I'm not right now. So anyway, right now I want to focus on building up my emergency fund. As I said, my ultimate goal for my emergency fund is $4,500. I don't know that I can get there this year, but if I can, that would be fantastic. Right now, I'm going to be starting out the year at $1,378. And so that looks like here. What you do here is I put $4,500, and each of these lines is $375. Honestly, these boxes off to the side, I cannot figure out what you're supposed to do with them because they don't line up with these in any way. So I just ignored these, pretended they didn't exist, and wrote my numbers on the lines because I don't get these boxes. So I just filled it in here. I'm at $1,378, and that is just over the $1,125, so I just went right above there. In February, I will be just a little bit more, just $52 more than that. So we'll fill it up a little bit more, and we'll just go up from there. I'll do different colors, and the goal is to just go up here on the graph and watch it grow. That's the point of this page, is to visually see this grow up. And then on the other side of this page is the debt tracker. Now you can put whatever you want. You can do both of these as debt. You can do both of these as savings. These are completely blank. I just chose to do one as debt and one as savings. But you do whatever you want. These are yours. And if you're doing a PDF version, you can print out 15 of these and do all of them as different savings or all of them as different debts, however you want to do it. So I have right now, I'm just doing my debt consolidation. It is at $3,000, and I did this as of today, as of Saturday, because I did this yesterday, because this has a daily accumulation of interest. And so I don't know what it'll be on the 1st of January. So it was easier for me to just do it as of what my statement said it was yesterday. I will make another payment on it by the end of December, so it will be different from this, but I'm just going to go off of what it said yesterday when I set it up. So yesterday it was at $3,464.45. And then when I do this, when I set up my budget for February, which will be at the end of January or sometime in the middle of January, I'll see what it says and I will write that number in here. Hopefully it will be lower, and we'll watch this one go down to 0 by December, because like I said, my minimum payment that I am making is $300 a month in 2024. And if I make $300 a month, this will be paid off in December. I plan to make more, but if I make at least $300 a month, this will be paid off by December. So this will be gone by the end of 2024. And we'll watch this one go down. That's this page. Okay. My medical bill. Right now I am working on one main medical bill. This is from when I had, so for those of you again who are new, I have celiac disease, and it is very recently diagnosed. It was just over a year ago. It was in October of 2022 that I was diagnosed with celiac disease, which is very unusual to be in your 40s when you're diagnosed, and it just came out of the blue. I have no idea what happened. I was just feeling okay, and then all of a sudden I was really sick and nobody knew what was wrong with me, and my doctor said it sounded like gallbladder, and I was like, you know what, it feels like a gallbladder, except I don't have one of those, so I don't know. And so she sent me to the GI, and it turns out I had celiac disease. So now, and fatty liver. They were thinking it was fatty liver, except for it's not really. It's kind of fatty liver, but it's not fatty liver because it's a stage 0. But the machine that they do the they do the test on for the liver, like, keeps coming back with really unclear results. So last year they had to do a liver biopsy on me, and then this year they had to do an MRI on me, and so I'm still paying off that MRI. I have $494.58 left on that MRI. And again, I started this as of what I can see the balance as of today. So on the 16th of this month, they'll automatically debit $82.43, and they will do that all the way through May the 16th. And this comes off of my HSA card, which is why those of you who are following my journey aren't familiar with this debt. This isn't one that I track because, as I've mentioned, my HSA, the money that goes onto my HSA, which is my health savings account for people who are not from the United States and not familiar with this, we have in the United States, if you have a high deductible medical plan, which means you have to pay a high deductible before anything is covered, you have the option to have a certain percentage of your paycheck go onto a health savings account before you pay taxes. So pre-tax, I have a certain percentage of my income that comes off of my paycheck and goes on to this savings account that I can only use toward medical expenses. I can't use it for anything else. And so it goes directly onto that account. And then I can pay for medical expenses with that. I can pay for doctor's visits. I can pay for my MRI with that. I can pay for prescriptions with that. I can pay for certain things at pharmacies and certain medications over the counter. There's a whole list of stuff. But this is one of the things that I can pay for with it. So I have this set up to auto debit off of this HSA card every month. And I don't include any of this in my budget, in my YNAB, in what y'all see, because it's all comes out of my check before it even hits my account. It's not included in my budget. But this is a medical bill that I have. Another one that I have is from Labs, and I'm paying $50 a month on that one. I didn't have the information to fill out. I am going to fill that out on here, and we'll track that, but I didn't have that information on me yesterday when I was filling all of this out. But I do have 2 medical bills that I am currently paying. One is for I just forgot the MRI, and one is for the labs. The labs are almost done. Like, I think I have like another 3 payments to make on that one. So, but that is another medical bill. That was my one one of my biggest complaints with the Budget Mom's book is that there's only one medical bill tracker. And I was like, most people who have medical bills have multiple medical bills. Like if you've ever been in a hospital and you, like, no matter what you were in the hospital for, you don't get one bill from the hospital and they're like, here's your bill, and it's all itemized. It's like, here's a bill for the ER, and then here's the bill from the doctor that saw you in the ER, and here's the bill from the radiologist that saw you in the ER, and here's the bill from the pharmacist that filled your prescription in the ER, and here's the bill from the receptionist that checked you in the ER, and here's your bill from the valet parking guy that parked your car in the ER, and here's your bill from the, I don't know, nutritionist that gave you food in the ER. And you get like 16 bills from the one visit that you had in the ER, and it's like $50,000. And then they send them to you like 7 months later, and it's just ridiculous how the billing system works in hospitals. Anyway, you don't get one medical bill. You get 30 medical bills. So I don't know why there's only one medical bill on here. But the good part about doing the PDF is I can print out as many as I need, because I'm going to have ongoing labs and ongoing things that I need to check, because this is a pretty new diagnosis of celiac. So I can print more pages as I need them. And then I have a note page, which is the last page of this setup, but I don't have anything noted on yet. But if I need to, I can. And y'all, that is it. Then I go into January. And we're gonna set up January together in my next video. So make sure you come back and we'll get that set up. All right, what are y'all doing for your 2024 budget? Are you going to be doing the budget by paycheck method by the Budget Mom? Are you using a different planner? Are you using a digital method? Do you use YNAB? Do you use, what is that one? Every Dollar? I know you're not using Mint because that one's going away. Let me know what you're using. Let me know what you thought of this. If you have any suggestions, if you are doing it differently, if you're printing it, what pages are you printing? Are you using the same pages? Are you using different pages? All right. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I hope you're having a wonderful 2023, and I hope you have an amazing 2024 coming up. I love you all so much. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're new and you're interested in following this or any of my other content, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Come with me. We have fun. I do talk a lot. I do. I know. But it's fun here. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.